lights, yeah. Lights go down out there, lights turn on up here, everybody gets quiet. That means we're ready to roll. I appreciate it. Good evening and welcome to our first ever Raider Sports Awards. My name is Trent Hansen, Assistant Principal and Director of Athletics and Activities here at Hastings High School. This inaugural event is intended to celebrate the distinguished participation and accomplishments of our athletes, teams, and coaches. Integrating a new event like this at the end of a school calendar year is challenging. There are countless in-season athletic games, music concerts, awards banquets, and graduation events, all on the docket as we fly towards the summer. We chose tonight as the best of our available options to avoid as many conflicts as possible and include as many kids and teams as possible. And we have a few that'll be coming in hot, literally and figuratively, in about 30 minutes. For that reason, our awards event tonight will honor accomplishments from the completed season of last spring, 2022, and then this fall and winter of the current 22-23 school year. We're excited to honor and highlight the best of Raiders athletics across 21 different categories, including over 100 individuals, 4 teams, and 6 adults. These awards are representative of an exciting athletics culture. At this high school, we are proud members of the Minnesota State High School League and the Metro East Conference. We offer 28 different sports and 3 adapted programs that result in 68 different teams competing across all 3 sports seasons. Over 700 different students participate in at least one sport, and they are led by over 100 different head and assistant coaches. Our school will host almost 400 home games alone in a single school year, making our campus a dynamic and vibrant place to be. We also have exciting department-wide trends to highlight. Over 50% of our student body participates in at least one school-sponsored sport, and over 40% of those students participate in more than one. Our average retention rate across all sports and levels is over 75%, and the average team grade point average is a whopping 3.40. Clap for that one. Yeah. Our student survey positivity rate is over 90%, and our cumulative head-to-head winning percentage at the varsity level is 57%. Student support partnerships include mental training with Dr. Cinder Kampoff and her team at Minnesota State University Mankato, and our sports medicine partnership with Twin Cities Orthopedics. We're also proud of our locally developed commitment to partner teams and community service. As you've heard me say many times, our sport programs at this high school are goal-oriented and purpose-driven. Our goals are largely outcome-based. We plan, we practice, and we play to win. Our purpose, however, is to offer diverse sports opportunities that develop character and community. We maintain a commitment to 6 core values: integrity, sportsmanship, work ethic, the whole person, multi-sport athletes, and fun. We are successful when athletes develop lifelong relationships and Raiders values, make growth towards performance objectives, and contribute positively to the Hastings community. I'm certain that throughout the evening, you'll be witness to athletes, teams, and coaches that have achieved great goals. Most importantly, they've done it with class, and in ways that activate growth towards our collective purpose. It's also a way I want to do an event like this together, to see and celebrate both the breadth and depth of growth and accomplishment across all 4 grades and all 3 sports seasons. A collaborative event like this does not happen at every high school, and we certainly hope that you enjoy our comprehensive and collaborative approach to the agenda and the program. So, to get us started, I'm going to invite Katie Hertel up to the stage. She's going to come stand right next to me for a minute while I say some nice things about her. She's going to provide our alumni guest message. Katie's a proud 3-sport athlete and a valedictorian graduate of Hastings High School, the class of 1997. Her decorated athletic accomplishments include all-conference in 3 sports: soccer, basketball, and softball. She was All-State honorable mention in soccer and was All-State and on the All-State defensive team in basketball. She was academic All-State, was also a captain and leader of the 1996 girls basketball state championship team. Katie attended the University of Minnesota Duluth as a redshirt walk-on freshman basketball player who suffered 2 ACL knee injuries. She earned a partial basketball and then a full academic scholarship during her career at UMD, graduating with degrees in biochemistry and biology. She was a professional rugby player after college, locally with the Minnesota Valkyries, a women's Premier League team, and she was a starter for multiple Midwest Thunderbirds all-star teams who won repeat national championships. She was in the U.S. national rugby team pool, ultimately earning 1 international cap during the 2008 Nations Cup and narrowly missed the 2010 World Cup roster by a single roster spot. Katie's long been known for making her teammates better, for bringing the same passion and intensity to every day and every drill, for being an unwavering believer in her team's chances to win no matter what, for being coachable, and for always raising the bar. If you're picking a team, you want Katie on it, period. Today, Katie's focus is on her family, career, outdoor adventures, and photography. Her favorite title is Aunt. She currently works in talent development, where she focuses on building inclusive leaders of high-performing teams. You can often find her hiking, kayaking, chasing mountaintop sunrises, or surfing waves off the California coast. So I'm thrilled to welcome and introduce my friend and a Rangers legend, Katie Hertel. You got it.
I'm pretty short, so I'm going to move around here. Thanks, Trent. All right, so first thing I want to start off with actually is a thank you. My mom is here somewhere. My sister's not able to make it. Those are my forever fans. So thank you. Also, thank you. Yeah. I'm looking here. I'm seeing actually some coaches who were big in my day and who are still here committed. I just want to say you inspire me in your commitment to the student athletes still today. Thank you. And also to the rest of you out here, the current living legacy of Raider sports, congratulations. This is a night to celebrate you and everything that you've done. So I have a handful of minutes, so I'm going to make this short and sweet, but I do want to share with you a little bit of a story. Hopefully it's something you resonate with, with your experience. Maybe it's something you'll learn from. At the very least, I hope you take a minute to consider what it means to be a successful athlete and what your role is as a Raider. So as Trent mentioned, coming out of high school, I was very lucky. I was a very successful athlete. I was a successful student. I was excited to join UMD, University of Minnesota Duluth, powerhouse Division II women's basketball team, a living legacy of their own. I was coming in as a redshirt walk-on freshman, the same year as a full-ride point guard from Wisconsin, okay? But I knew I didn't want to be a part of average. I wanted to be a part of something great. So it was important to me that I set my sights much higher, so I took on that challenge. As you might expect coming off 2 ACLs, first couple years weren't pretty. I rode the bench. My job was a practice player is to make sure that who did take that starting jersey darn well better be better than me, right? That was my job, to make them better. Third, fourth year, I started getting some meaningful minutes. That meant a lot, but as I'm sure many of you relate to, I had my eyes set on the starting lineup. How many of you want to be a starter? Yeah, okay, I should see almost every athlete in the room with their hand up. It means a lot. It's kind of a sign of success, right? That you've kind of made it. Your coaches see you. It's a big deal. So fifth year rolls around, as you can expect. That previous point guard graduated, but of course we brought in a flashy new one too on scholarship, as you should, to build a legacy program. But I kept having the faith that I'd put in the work. I'd done all that had been asked of me. I did everything the coaches asked for. I would get my chance at some point. First couple games, other freshman point guard started. Did my best to make sure she was as ready as possible. She did all right. No fault to her. Couple games in, early conference season, I got my start. Coach called me up. She's like, "It's your turn." I'm like, "You got it, Coach. I'm ready." Nervous as all get out, but I'm ready. Let's do this. So we played Bemidji State at home. And to give you an idea, context at the time, Bemidji State should have been a 30-plus point romp. It should have been walk out of the gym, half our bench playing 5-plus minutes, really having a great time. Instead, what started to happen is we started flat. We couldn't get a basket to drop. We looked completely flat-footed, and we were in the process of making a highlight reel for Bemidji State. But we pulled it together. We were up about 10 or 12 by halftime. After a good talking to, you could say, at halftime, we came back and started to put together some sequences, right? Some baskets started to drop for us. We made some defensive stops. Coaches were trying some new combinations, and we started to pick up our game. We won by 20-plus points. But I think you've all been there, right? Where you've competed and you get the job done, but you don't necessarily feel 100% about it. Seeing some nodding heads, you been there? Me too. So we get down to the locker room, and it's almost worse than when coaches don't say anything, right? They didn't have much to say, but we knew we were in for it come practice. So they finished their very short and sweet talk. And the first thing I hear is, Hurdle, get out here. Okay. Hop right up. I can still picture it. Exiting the locker room, 10 feet to the left, white square tile, 6'1", Hall of Fame, powerhouse coach, leans over. She says, "You're never going to start another game for us." Okay, coach. Imagine what that feels like. She went on to say, "I can count on you anytime I put you in the game. Doesn't matter what the score is, doesn't matter how much time's left, you're going to give me 110%. This team needs you. I need you. I need you to be in there when the game is on the line. I need you to close these games for us." But this freshman point guard, her mental game falls apart if we don't start her. "You're never going to start for us." Got it? Got it, coach. So sit with that for 1 minute. What you'd worked your athletic career up until that point to achieve, in less than about 15 or 30 seconds, shattered into a million pieces on that locker room floor. Yet in that same moment, my coach articulated for me something that I was still trying to figure out as an athlete: how to say what mattered most to me and how I would measure my own success. I tell you what I know to be true about me as an athlete and as a person is I want to be in there when the game's on the line. I want to be a closer. So I didn't wear a starting jersey the rest of that year. But I tell you what, played a lot of great basketball. We won a lot of games. Wish we would have won more. But I walked away feeling extremely proud of my teammates and myself and what we accomplished that year. And in the process, that we built part of a legacy program. We built up that next point guard to be ready for the next season. So why am I telling you the story, right? You can probably take a lot from that story. Tell me about it later. I hope that one thing you take away is what I took away. And that is that I am so proud to come from Hastings, graduate from Hastings High School, and have been coached by some of the best coaches here. Those experiences and those coaches who valued what was on the scoreboard, but looked at us on their teams and cared way more about who we are as people and as our own athletes. Without that, I wouldn't have been successful at UMD. And I wouldn't have known that in another 10 years I would be playing for the USA. So I look out at you all today, and I'm excited for you. You are Raider athletes today. You have the opportunity to be coached by some incredible individuals who are committed to you. And that is something really special. And so I hope as you think about that, you think about what the Raider legacy is. To me, it puts the right and the responsibility on each one of us to be our best athlete in and out of our sport, and to be the reason why somebody next to us is their best. That's to me what it means to be a Raider and to be a part of this legacy, past, present, and future. So I'll leave you with that tonight is a challenge. Tonight we're going to celebrate some amazing awards. And I got to say, as a state champion, I got to call out, where's my wrestlers at? On top of Minnesota, again, right where you belong. I love it, right? The tennis team, I think we're 15 years. We're back on top of the conference, right? Give it up. We squashed like 10 school records this year. Amazing. We got 60-plus three-sport athletes. We couldn't be prouder. And over half of the students, Trent, I think you said, wear a blue and gold jersey. There's so much to be proud of in this room, and I'm so excited to celebrate it with you tonight. But I'm pretty sure that weight room opens at 7 a.m., and there better be a line outside. Go Raiders.
Well done. I gotta make sure I get this back in there. All right. Hey, how about one more? Round of applause for her? Come on, man. Love it. Tells you everything you need to know, right? When I asked Katie, it wasn't yes or no. It was like, what day is it and what time do I need to be there? It's this kind of person she is. It's awesome, so thank you. And now it's on, okay? It's everybody else's turn, and here's the format for the event. First, we're going to recognize individuals across 15 different categories. These will then be followed by the team awards and then the coach awards to close. It will go in order as you can read it in your printed program. 17 different coaches will take turns introducing each award category from the right podium as you look at it from the crowd there. The traffic flow is important and may take a little getting used to, so here's how it's going to go. I'm talking to the athletes most importantly right now and our presenters. So find your program. Pay specific attention to the order of awards and where your name is in the program. When your award category is next, you need to get out of your chair and make your way over to stage right up those far stairs, and Ms. Castle will be waiting for you to help you get organized. You're not going to get an extra verbal prompt from me. You're not going to get a reminder, so you have to watch the program and move accordingly. Now, there's a lot of people in here, which is great. You don't have to run. You don't have to hurt anyone. But you're athletes. Figure out a way to get out of your row and get over there with a little bit of time left, so we're not waiting on you. All right? We'll also introduce you in alphabetical order by award category. So be ready as noted. So for example, Elise Atkins, I've known you for a long time. If you're in the room, you get over there, you're first in the alphabet, so don't hover in the back. Get up to the front and set a good model for everybody else. I think you'll figure it out. You got good people helping you. When you are introduced, you can proceed right across the stage towards the podium and then continue to center stage right in front of the backdrop banner right here. Some of you, because you didn't receive any type of certificate or award previously for what you're being recognized for tonight, will get one in hand from Katie McAlpin as you walk by. Others have already received their sport-specific award, and you're not going to get anything in hand. You just have to pay attention as you cruise by. But when you come up to the front, if you've got a smaller group, like less than 10, stay on that side, the backdrop to the right as you look at it. Denny Beck has taken pictures from the middle of the stage, right in the middle of the house back there, and he'll snap it. Mr. Welch will be right in front, kind of helping you tidy up and line up if you need it. If you've got a bigger group of 10 or 12, just spread out. That's why we've got 2 banner backdrops there. We'll get you organized. When you're done with your photo and you're dismissed, walk right behind the screen. The curtain is open. Follow it behind stage. Take 2 rights, and you're going to come right back in behind where you came from. Again, bright kids, athletes, you're going to figure it out when you get through there, okay? Some of you are being honored with a single award, and we hope that after your turn you stay and enjoy the balance of the event. Many others are going to be recognized with more than one award, and some of those categories are kind of close to each other. So again, you might have to hustle and just come right back in on the right. I will facilitate and introduce each speaker and category. And we're going to take the toughest part first. We're going to start with the 3 largest groups, the most challenging to fit on stage, and we'll proceed from there. So, at this time, here's the first prompt. If you are one of the 19 female 3-sport athletes that are listed in that program at the very top, this is your cue. Hop out of your chair, don't hurt anybody. You can work your way over there. Ms. Welch, Mr. Klein are getting themselves ready to rock and roll, our 2 presenters. As the ladies are doing that, we have almost 44 male 3-sport athletes, and because you're next right away, I'm going to ask you to stand up right now too. You can make your way over there, and as they work their way up, Mr. Welch will help you get organized. This is the chaotic part. A little tougher to start in the beginning. That's why we're getting over with right away. And next, I'll give a quick prompt and a reminder. If you are one of the Raider Award winners, you're next after the male 3-sport athletes. Don't move now. When Mr. Klein takes the mic, that's going to be your cue to head over there, and we'll kind of get it going. We good? Okay, so we're close enough. Nobody's ever started a game feeling absolutely perfect. No matter how great practice was yesterday, you still have one thing left unresolved, so we're going to rock with it. So, up first, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Marissa Welch and Mr. Matt Klein, who will present our 3-sport athletes. Ms. Welch, take it away.
HHS values and supports multi-sport athletes. While the broad definition of a multi-sport athlete includes anyone who participates in more than one sport, we reserve special recognition for those students who elect to participate in 3 sports in a single school year. Athletes, as I announce your name, please proceed to the middle of the stage for a group photo. The audience is reminded to please hold your applause until after my comments and the picture. At this time, it is my pleasure to present our 2022-23 female three-sport athletes. Elise Atkins, cross country, Nordic ski, track and field. Nicole Babinkova, cross country, Nordic ski, track and field. Ivy Brandenburg, cross country, wrestling, track and field. Taylor DeBeddings, volleyball, gymnastics, lacrosse. Kira Erickson, soccer, hockey, lacrosse. Gavin Hansen, soccer, wrestling, track and field. Jordan Leos, volleyball, basketball, track and field. Ellie Magnus, soccer, basketball, track and field. Bella Malesio, soccer, wrestling, lacrosse. Annabelle Norquist, volleyball, wrestling, lacrosse. Rachel Natch, volleyball, basketball, softball. Jolie Pettit, volleyball, wrestling, alpine ski, track and field. Claire Reeder, volleyball, hockey, softball. Olivia Schuster, cross country, basketball, track and field. Anna Lena Seipelt, soccer, alpine ski, softball. Haley Strain, volleyball, basketball, softball. And Lauren Whitfield, volleyball, wrestling, track and field.
All right, I'm going to help them real quick. Let's make 2 rows, right? If you're in the taller 8 or 9 people up there, step towards the back, towards the banner. If you're one, others scoot up. Adam will help you. 2 rows real quick, so we're set.
Over half of our student body at HHS participates in at least one school sport, and 48% of those athletes are female. From those 330 plus athletes, this distinguished group of only 19 kids, or 6% of all female athletes at HHS, participate in 3 sports. Kudos to this group for their unique display of work ethic and teamwork across all 3 seasons. Please join me in recognizing our female 3-sport athletes.
All right. At this time, it's my pleasure to announce the 2022-23 male 3-sport athletes. Athletes, please follow the same format that was just modeled by your peers. Again, please hold your applause until after my final comments and photo. Athletes, when your name is being called, please proceed to the middle of the stage. Here we go, boys. Max Albertson, cross country, basketball, track and field. Ryder Ashcraft, football, basketball, track and field. Xavier Beal, soccer, basketball, track and field. Barrett Boardman, football, wrestling, baseball. Isaac Bushberger, cross country, Nordic ski, track and field. Cole Kateria, football, alpine ski, track and field. Finn Kateria, cross country, alpine ski, track and field. Ryan Clemens, football, hockey, lacrosse. Jack Cloutier, football, basketball, track and field. Gabe Dorham, football, wrestling, baseball. Kaysen Esterby, football, wrestling, lacrosse. Kyan Esterby, football, basketball, track and field. Lucas Voss, football, basketball, track and field. Matthew Foss, football, basketball, track and field. Aaron Herber, cross country, alpine ski, baseball. Tristan Herbst, cross country, swim and dive, and track and field. Hunter Hoff, football, wrestling, golf. Peyton Lee Dean, football, basketball, track and field. Austin LaFleur, football, wrestling, lacrosse. Carter Lundstrom, football, basketball, baseball. Danny Milner, football, hockey, track and field. Gavin Molitor, football, alpine ski, track and field. Fletcher Peterson, football, wrestling, lacrosse. Gabriel Peterson, cross country, Nordic ski, track and field. Lucas Paulinger, football, wrestling, track and field. Tyler Pond, football, wrestling, tennis. Noah Quigley, cross country, Nordic ski, track and field. Elliot Renicky, football, wrestling, track and field. Aiden Reuter, cross country, basketball, track and field. Jacob Reuter, soccer, basketball, track and field. Cameron Rowan, football, wrestling, tennis. Jack Sieben, football, soccer, golf. Jacob Sinclair, cross country, basketball, baseball. Aiden Stoltz, cross country, Nordic ski, track and field. Parker Stoltz, cross country, Nordic ski, track and field. Mark Savoda, football, wrestling, baseball. John Tegland, football, hockey, baseball. Peyton Thomas, cross country, basketball, track and field. Ben Thome, football, hockey, baseball. Braden Thompson, football, basketball, track and field. Sawyer Chumsland, football, hockey, baseball. Micah Trost, cross country, Nordic ski, baseball. Blake Vandehoff, football, hockey, baseball. Charles Wagner, football, wrestling, baseball. The commitment and dedication required to engage in one sport is commendable. 2 sports is incredible. 3 sports is extraordinary. From the 360 plus males that have played at least one sport at HHS, this select group of 44 kids, or 12% of all male athletes, participates in 3 sports. Kudos to this group and their display of work ethic and teamwork across all 3 seasons. Please join me in recognizing our male 3-sport athletes.
All right, our next award category is to recognize all conference in multiple sports in the last year, to be presented by Mr. Jason Cook.
Hastings High School is a member of the Metro East Conference, featuring 9 schools from across the South and Southeast metro area. Each sport in the MEC has developed policies to recognize the best performers in their activity with the designation of All Conference. In our individual sports, All Conference is determined by how an athlete finishes in a championship race or season-ending tournament against their peers. In our team sports, All Conference is determined by a vote of the conference head coaches. At this time, it is my pleasure to present those athletes that have earned All Conference in more than one sport. Jalen Hansen, soccer and track and field. Lauren Jenkins, swim and dive and softball. Keegan McVicker, soccer and basketball. Johnny Bezdacek, football and track and field. Peyton Burrow, football and track and field. Creed Peterson, football and wrestling. And Lucas Sorensen, football and track and field. All Conference recognizes about 15% of the athletes in a given sport overall across the entire conference. While participating and achieving this designation in one sport is awesome, excelling across multiple sports is remarkable. At HHS, we have 700 athletes. Almost 300 of those participate in more than one sport. This distinguished group of only 7 raters, representing 1% of all athletes at our school, has achieved All Conference designation in more than one sport. Athletes, congratulations. Please join me in recognizing our multi-sport all-conference award winners.
Next award is the Varsity Raider Award winners, to be presented by Dana Strain.
The Raider Award is given on a sport-by-sport basis by most of our athletic teams. This prestigious recognition is given to the athlete that best embodies and represents our 6 core values for their particular team. At this time, it is my pleasure to present the Varsity Raider Award winners. Boys Cross Country, Aaron Herber. Girls Cross Country, Lindsay Matheson. Football, Pacer Rubel. Boys Soccer, Martin Onan. Girls Soccer, Mara Jackson. Girls Swim and Dive, Ashton Stewart. Volleyball, Sydney Peterson. Boys Basketball, Lucas Foss. Girls Basketball, Natalie Kaflish. Boys Hockey, Danny Milner. Girls Hockey, Emily Toohey. Boys Nordic Ski, Josiah Trost. Girls Nordic Ski, Elise Atkins. Boys Swim and Dive, Adam Dewar.
You're good.
Wrestling, Blake Clemens. Baseball, Connor Stoffel. Boys Golf, Charlie Williams. Boys Lacrosse, Holden Richardson. Softball, Olivia Matson. Boys Tennis, Brady Zach. At HHS, we maintain a commitment to 6 core values: integrity, the whole person, sportsmanship, work ethic, multi-sport athletes, and fun. These Raider Award winners were selected based on feedback from their peers and coaches with those values in mind. Athletes, congratulations. Please join me in recognizing our Raider Award winners.
All right, you guys are good. You got it ready, guys. Thank you. Up next are our state tournament qualifiers, which will be presented by Emily Hofseth and Adam Welch.
HHS sponsors 28 different varsity sports, as well as 3 additional adapted sports as part of the Dakota United Cooperative. The Minnesota State High School League sponsors a state tournament in each of these sports. Qualification is typically based on the athlete's overall finish in their section championship race or tournament. In most cases, the champion and runner-up will qualify. In some cases, athletes may also qualify according to an automatic standard qualifying time. It is my pleasure to present our Spring 2022 and Fall 2022 state tournament qualifiers. First, from the spring, Charlie Williams, boys golf. Ashlyn Endress, girls golf. Lauren Hubbard, girls golf. Johnny Bezacek, track and field, 2-time section champion in 2 events. Isaac Ebling, track and field. Ellie Magnus, track and field in 2 events. Maddie Kennedy, Jalen Hansen, Carly Kordarski, and Ellie Magnus for track and field in the 4x2 meter relay. In a given year, an individual athlete has only about a 10% chance of qualifying for the state tournament in their sport. Kudos to these spring athletes for their qualification and participation. Please join me in recognizing our Spring 2022 state tournament qualifiers. Next from the fall, Linnea Ronning, cross country. Ashton Stewart, Ava McNamara, Josie Larson, Clara Birkin for girls swim and dive in the 200 medley relay, section champions. Ava McNamara, Lila Salzman, Lauren Jenkins, Kira Arness in girls swim 200 free relay. Kira Arness, girls swim and dive. Ava McNamara, girls swim and dive, 2-time section champion in 2 events. Claire Keller, girls tennis in singles, and Brooklyn Keller and Reese Keller in girls tennis doubles. Congratulations to these fall athletes for their qualification and participation. Please join me in recognizing our fall 2022 state tournament qualifiers.
Great, you're good, man. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to present our winter state tournament qualifiers from 2022-23. Here they are: Aaron Herber, alpine ski; Jackson Rintz, alpine ski and section champion; Zach Rother, alpine ski; Abby Palava, alpine ski; Katie Nowak, alpine ski; Josiah Trost, Nordic ski; Trey Beisel, wrestling and section champion; Blake Beisel, wrestling, section champion; Peyton Erickson, wrestling, section champion; Jack Bainbridge, wrestling, section champion; Josh Rout, wrestling; Creed Peterson, wrestling; Aiden Erickson, wrestling and section champion; Ian Peppel, wrestling, section champion; Rico Cooper, wrestling, section champion; Derek Stanky, wrestling, section champion; Austin LaFlay, wrestling, section champion; Blake Clemens, wrestling; Ivy Brandenburg, girls wrestling; Annabelle Norquist, girls wrestling; Skylar Little Soldier, girls wrestling and section champion; Isabel Fritz, girls wrestling. As noted, qualifying for the state tournament means that an athlete is in rare air. They have qualified to compete as one of the best against the best from across the entire state. HHS was proud to have 41 different athletes qualifying and participate in a state tournament. Congratulations to these winner athletes for their qualification and participation. Join me in recognizing our winter state tournament qualifiers.
All right, you guys are good. Up next to present all-state athletes and academic all-state athletes is Jason Gergen.
As previously stated, qualifying for a state tournament is an incredible achievement. Athletes compete on the biggest stage against the toughest competition at awesome venues. Just qualifying and participating is significant. A select few athletes ultimately perform at such a high level that they are honored as all-state, the best of the best at the state tournament or in their sport. It is my pleasure to introduce them at this time. Athletes, regardless of what season you earned your honors, please remain center stage until all athletes from all seasons are together. Our spring sports Track and field, Johnny Bezdachuk. Boys lacrosse, John Charlton. Our fall sports, swimming 100-meter fly and 100-meter breast, Ava McNamara. Our winter sport athletes, wrestling, Blake Beisel. Wrestling, Trey Beisel. Wrestling, Blake Clemens. Wrestling, Rico Cooper. Wrestling, Aiden Erickson. Alpine ski, Aaron Herber. Girls wrestling, Skylar Little Soldier. Alpine ski, Abby Palava. Alpine ski, Jackson Rentz. And wrestling, Josh Rout. In an individual sport, all-state recognition is determined by their final place in the race or tournament for their activity. In team sports, all-state recognition is determined by nomination and two-step voting process at the section and the state level by head coaches. HHS is proud to honor these 13 individuals, 2% of all athletes at our school, who are honored as all-state in their particular sport. Join me in congratulating our all-state athletes.
Good, Doc, you're good. Doc. You guys are good.
Education-based athletics in our schools are just that, education-based. Students learn life lessons and skills that are transferable to all areas of life, and they learn them in unique ways on a team, on the field, and in ways that are not always possible in traditional classrooms. That said, we are not a club or professional sports. Our HHS athletes are by definition student athletes. They're students first who must maintain academic standards in the classroom in order to enjoy the privilege of participation in their favorite sport. A select few students have excelled at such a high level in the classroom while participating in sports that they have been honored as academic all-stars. It is my pleasure to present 8 student athletes who are honored as academic all-stars in the last year. Henry Asherman, boys tennis. Megan Brown, girls golf. Ashley Endress, girls golf. Laura Hubbard, girls golf. Rihanna Renke, softball. Connor Stoffel, baseball. All the previous names I announced were graduates. Girls tennis, Ella Doman. Alpine ski, Aaron Herber. Swimming, Ava McNamara. Academic all-star recognition is earned by athletes on a section playoff roster according to comparative ranking with their cumulative GPA and is awarded by the Minnesota Coaches Association. Kudos to these athletes, including 3 current HHS seniors, for earning this prestigious distinction in the last year. Please join me in recognizing all academic all-star athletes.
Up next is recognition for athletes who broke a school record, to be presented by Jason Cook, Katie McAlpin, and Tim Hanneberg.
Hastings High School has been a member of the Minnesota State High School League for over 75 years. Throughout that time, our school and community have experienced significant growth, both in the diverse number of programs sponsored and levels of play offered, and we have consistently high participation rates. While record keeping across generations is never perfect, most of our sports have done a great job of tracking stats and data from era to era. It is our pleasure to highlight the athletes who have broken a school record in the last year. I will introduce the athletes from the spring of 2022, Katie from the fall, and Tim from the winter. Athletes, please stay at center stage until all 7 of you are there together. So, from the spring of 2022, Johnny Bezdacek, track and field, 100-meter dash and 200-meter dash school records. And Ellie Magnus, track and field, 100-meter dash school record.
And for our fall athletes, we have Chloe Arness in 11 dive list, Ava McNamara in the 100 fly and the 100 breaststroke, and Linnea Ronning cross country in the 5K.
In the winter, Blake Beisel, wrestling, Austin LaFleur, wrestling, Blake Beisel, wrestling. Breaking a record at a school with a long and proud athletic tradition like ours is just an awesome accomplishment. Kudos to these 7 athletes who have set a new standard and broken a school record in the last year. Join me in congratulating our new school record holders.
Up next is recognizing our individual state champions. Staying at the microphone, Mr. Tim Hanneberg.
The definition of a champion is a person who has defeated or surpassed all rivals in competition. Said even more simply, a champion is the best, period. It is my pleasure to present 3 athletes who are individual state champions at this time. Blake Beisel, wrestling, Trey Beisel, wrestling, Skylar Little Soldier, girls wrestling. HHS has a proud legacy of athletic accomplishments that includes 33 individual state champions in 5 different sports. This winter, 3 athletes established themselves in this elite group by winning an individual state championship. Being the best requires an incredible combination of commitment, preparation, skill, work ethic, guts, and attitude. Each of these kids exemplifies those qualities and needed every ounce of them to stand atop the state podium. Join me in recognizing our individual state champions.
Up next, we'll recognize Conference and Section Athletes of the Year. Pinch hitting for Ryan Stoffel is Mr. Adam Welch.
The Athlete of the Year category is to recognize those individuals who were selected as conference, section, or state player of the year in their particular sport. It is my pleasure to present these 3 individuals at this time. Ava McNamara, section 3A Girls Swimmer of the Year. Keegan McVicker, Metro East Conference Girls Basketball Player of the Year. Linnea Ronning, Metro East Conference Conference Cross Country Girls Runner of the Year. In most activities, these honors are decided by coaches, nominations, and vote. We are proud to honor these 3 different individuals who were selected by their coaches in their conference or section as the Athlete of the Year in their respective sports. This award is in recognition of outstanding accomplishment as flat out the best swimmer, player, or runner from among the almost 100 different athletes competing with and or against them in the entire conference or section. Join me in recognizing our conference and section athletes of the year.
Next to present 2 different Minnesota State High School League awards is Paul Armstrong.
I'm honored to present two different Minnesota State High School League awards this evening. Athletes, as you are introduced, please remain center stage until all four of you are there together for one photo. Excel, which stands for Excellence in Community, Education, and Leadership, is a unique Minnesota State High School League program designed exclusively for high school juniors who are active in school activities, who show leadership qualities, and who work voluntarily in their community. Each member school can honor 2 students for this recognition. It is my pleasure to present Jalen Hansen and Noah Quigley at this time. This award is presented to 1 female and 1 male as nominated and selected by our Hastings High School staff and coaches. These student athletes stand out not only for their athletic participation and accomplishments, but specifically for their impact as role models and leaders and their willingness to serve others and our school community. AAA, which stands for Academics, Athletics, and Arts, is a unique Minnesota State High School League program designed to honor high school seniors who have excelled in the classroom, on the athletic field, and in the fine arts. Each member school can honor 2 students for this recognition. It is my pleasure to present Emma Hagan and Martin Onen at this time. This award is presented to 1 female and 1 male as selected by the HHS administrative and leadership team. These student athletes stand out for their unique combination of participation and accomplishment in this broad cross-section of our school community as scholars, athletes, and artists. Please join me in recognizing our Excel and AAA award winners.
Up next to present Metro East Conference Academic All-Conference Awards is Miss Elizabeth Curran.
The Metro East Conference recognizes seniors who have been named All-Conference at least one time during their high school career in any conference sport and have also maintained a cumulative GPA of at least 3.65 or higher. It is my pleasure to recognize these student athletes at this time. Max Albertson, track and field. Johnny Bezdicek, football, track and field. Isaac Ebeling, track and field. Peyton Erickson, wrestling. Macy Frandrup, volleyball. Aaron Herber, alpine ski. Mallory Karnick, alpine ski. Ethan Claren, soccer. Ava McNamara, swim and dive. Cody Niederkorn, hockey. Martin Onen, golf. Kiki Radent, hockey. As noted earlier, our athletes in Hastings High School are defined by student athletes. While we have over 200 seniors that participate in at least one sport, only 12 of them, or 6% of all senior athletes, have achieved this combination standard. These individuals have accomplished the rare feat of being an accomplished athlete on the court, field, or ice by being named All-Conference, while also being an accomplished scholar as evidenced by their high GPA. Join me in congratulating our MEC Academic All-Conference recipients.
You good, buddy? You good. Up next to present our Outstanding Senior Athlete Awards is Mr. Joe Rebay.
Hastings High School has sponsored the Outstanding Senior Athlete Award for over 30 years. This award recognizes the commitment to both multi-sport participation and varsity-level accomplishment throughout the student's high school career. It is my pleasure to present these 12 outstanding senior athletes. Max Albertson, cross country, basketball, track and field. Kira Bartholomew, gymnastics, track and field. Michaela Berquist, hockey, lacrosse. Johnny Bezdicek, football, track and field. Natalie Kaflish, volleyball, basketball. Molly Kateria, cross country, Nordic ski, track and field. Rico Cooper, football, wrestling. Aaron Herber, cross country, alpine ski, baseball. Austin LaFlay, football, wrestling. Lindsay Matheson, cross country, track and field. Danny Milner, football, hockey, track and field. Charlie Williams, hockey, golf. This honor is given to seniors who have earned 6 or more letters across 2 or more sports during their career. You can see in your program the total number of letters earned to date by each athlete and in what sports. Join me in congratulating our outstanding senior athletes.
Up next is recognition of our college athletic commitments, to be presented by Mr. Pete McGinnis.
Participating in sports is a privilege, and for many student athletes, it is the highlight of their high school educational career. A select few have the opportunity to continue their participation after they graduate. Hastings High School is proud to honor 10 senior students who have made a commitment to play a sport in college. In doing so, they will become a part of a select company. On average, only 4% of all high school athletes compete at the collegiate level, Division 1, 2, or 3. Even fewer, about 1 to 2% of all high school athletes earn a financial aid scholarship of any amount to compete in collegiate sports. It is my privilege to introduce these 10 students at this event. Athletes, when your name is called, please come to the podium and announce to the audience what sport you will be playing and at what college or university. Johnny Beznicek.
I'll be running track and field at University of St. Thomas.
Post up right there, buddy.
Peyton Burrow.
I will be playing football at Valley City State University.
Mitch Iliff.
I'll be playing baseball at the University of Sioux Falls.
Michael Johnson.
I'll be playing tennis at St. Mary's University.
Ava McNamara.
I'll be swimming at Oakland University.
Danny Milner.
I'll be playing football at Luther College.
Eddie Piney.
I will be playing baseball at Northern State University.
Ian Pepple.
I will be wrestling at UW Wisconsin, Eau Claire.
Charlie Williams.
I'll be playing golf at Bemidji State University.
Autumn Winkler.
And I'll be playing tennis at UW River Falls.
Let's give these athletes one more round of applause.
Our final individual award of the night is for the Athena and Apollo winners, to be presented by Ms. Katie McAlpin.
Our final individual category this evening is Athena and Apollo Award. These awards recognize the singular outstanding senior athlete, one male and one female, in the class of 2023. Consideration is given based on excellence and accomplishment in both individual and team sports throughout the duration of the student athlete's high school career. It is my pleasure to present Ava McNamara and Aaron Herber at this time. Athletes are selected by a nomination and voting process by all Hastings High School head coaches. These two athletes have incredible resumes, featuring a combined 15 varsity letters. Both are in individual section champions, Ava in swimming and Aaron in alpine ski, each with multiple trips to the Minnesota State High School League state tournament in their respective sports. Please join me in congratulating our Athena and Apollo winners.
Okay, we're going to pivot to our team honorees next. To get us started, I'm going to ask for our girls swim and dive team. Why don't you guys come on down and step right up to center stage. We just invited as many of them to be here as we could get. As you've heard, our high school teams compete in the Metro East Conference, which features 8 boys and 9 girls schools. In a given year, a sports team has about a 12% chance of winning a conference championship. In traditional team sports, team champions are determined based on head-to-head win-loss records from a single or a double round-robin format throughout the season. In our traditional individual sports, team champions are determined by an end-of-the-season meet or tournament. In the past year, we're proud to have 2 teams earn the top spot and claim the Metro East Conference Championship in their sport. So first is girls swim and dive, coached by head coach Katie McAlpin. They've finished their season undefeated, 7-0 in the league for their 5th consecutive Metro East Conference title. Please join me in recognizing our swimmers and divers at this time. Girls tennis players, come on down. Our girls tennis team, under the direction of head coach Marissa Welch, finished their season 6-1, which was the first conference girls tennis championship in over 15 years. Please join me in congratulating our girls tennis team. Next, varsity boys basketball, come on down. As we've highlighted multiple times this evening, we sponsor education-based sports programs. Our kids are expected and required to be students first and then athletes, managing a variety of schedules and responsibilities. One team did it better than any other team in their section, and it's our pleasure to recognize that team right now. Our boys basketball team, under the direction of head coach Chad Fikema, was Section 3 4A academic team champions with a team cumulative GPA of 3.67. Making them the highest from among the 8 teams in their competitive section. Join me in congratulating our varsity boys basketball team. All right, wrestlers, you're next. Center stage. The Minnesota State High School League manages all postseason section and state tournaments. While some sports like skiing have a single class that all teams in that sport compete in. Other sports like hockey have 2. Volleyball has 3, basketball has 4, and so on. The number of classes are determined by a Minnesota State High School League formula to respond to the total number of schools in the state that compete in that particular sport. Hastings is number 55 by enrollment in the state, making us a small, big school in a sense that for all sports except football, we're part of the largest class where the biggest 64 teams compete. To get to the state tournament, With the exception of our ski teams, all teams compete in Section 3 tournaments, meaning we compete against mostly Dakota County schools like Rosemont, Apple Valley, or Eastview, and at times against schools just to the north and east like East Ridge or Park. On average, our sports teams have a 10% chance of winning their section tournament, earning the right to compete at the state level. Overall, our teams have less than a 2% chance of winning the entire state tournament. This year, we're proud to have a team that not only won their section, not only placed at state, but finished as the team state champion. Our wrestling team, under the direction of head coach Tim Hanneberg, finished the season 37-5 overall. They earned a first-round bye in their section tournament, then won back-to-back matches to earn the section team championship. At the state tournament, they were seeded third. They won 3 consecutive matches, including arguably the most dramatic comeback victory in the state wrestling team tournament by defeating number 1 ranked and defending state champion St. Michael Albertville in the title match. Congratulations, and please join me in recognizing our wrestling team.
All right, you got you. AJ, you guys are good. You got you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to our coach honorees. We have over 100 coaches that serve in a variety of capacities as head and assistant coaches across all 3 seasons. Over half of those coaches have a decade plus of high school coaching experience. About a third coach more than one sport. Over a third are professional educators by trade. All coaches at all levels engage in why we play and inside-out professional development, and they meet required state high school continuing education standards. Head coaches in particular complete additional state requirements to serve in that role and also engage in ongoing professional development here at the high school, including optional book studies and required head coach breakfast sessions that take place 4 times per year. It's a passionate, dedicated group of coaches that serve our kids in this community. Many conference and section sports sponsor a Coach of the Year award for assistants and or head coaches. Winners are selected by a vote of the coaches in that conference or section, demonstrating the broad respect of their peers. In the last year, Hastings High School is proud to have 5 different coaches who are honored as a Coach of the Year, and we'll recognize them at this time. I'll introduce the coach and their presenter, and when your names are called, you can head on up to the podium. We'll ask the coaches to stay in the middle until they're all together as a group. So first, we're going to recognize Miss Becky Hartung, and she's going to be presented by Pete McGinnis.
It is my privilege to introduce Becky Hartung here, the girls golf coach. She, just in the last year here, she coached academic all-state kids, all-conference kids. She also had state participants. That gives us the opportunity here that she was named Metro East Golf Coach of the Year. Let's give her a big round of applause.
All right, next to present Mr. Tim Hanneberg is, I believe, Blake Beisel, and maybe a partner or 2. Ian Peppel, come on down, buddy.
Even outside of the season, Hanneberg is a very involved person in our lives. He and Coach McClave run a summer camp that we all get together to become better athletes and form better team bonding along the way. Many current and alumni wrestlers still keep in close contact with him due to the lasting impact he has left on our lives. He is always willing to go the extra mile for his athletes and is passionate about the things that he loves. His love for the sport and pride he has in the important people in his life is a true inspiration to the people around him.
You hear me? Too loud. Coach Hanneberg, one of the most selfless and humble people you ever meet in your life. As a father, a husband, a coach, and a friend, he leads so much in his life and inspires us as not just students and athletes, but as young women and men who we look forward in our future. You never hold yourself higher than any level than us. You're on the same level as us, and you think of us as a friend and family. We can't thank you for anything so much. You've done so much for us, and thank you.
All right, up next to present Jeannie Castle is Ava Mommer.
I really enjoyed the experience that Hastings gymnastics team brought. Jeannie always tried to make the gym a positive environment to come in and just have fun. She supported us no matter what, even if we didn't do as well as we wanted. Thank you, Jeannie, and congratulations on your recognition.
All right, next to present Assistant Coach of the Year, Eric Mace, is Natalie Kaflish.
As some of you may know, we had a roller coaster of a season this year, but Mace was stability for us girls. Through it all, Mace was always there, ready to take the weight off of our shoulders and carry it on his own. A basketball coach is expected to know the X's and the O's of the game, but Coach Mace has always taken it to a different level when developing positive relationships with his players. Mace is kind, patient, and was there pushing and encouraging us every day to be better. Thank you, Mace, and congratulations.
Up next to present Coach Kevin McBride is Skylar Little Soldier.
Coach McBride has impacted me very positively while being in the Hastings wrestling room here at Hastings High School. He was one of the first coaches that actually took me under his wing when I first got brought up here in 7th grade. He is always there for you and provides you with whatever it is that you need before you step out on the mat. This year, he even took it upon himself to be a big help with all the girls in the wrestling room, as he was always on our side of the room helping with technique or whatever it was that we needed. So thank you and congratulations, Coach McBride, on your recognition.
All right, coaches, find the middle right there. Find Denny for a picture. And if I could ask the audience, let's recognize this group of 5 one more time. Coach of the Year. Well done. Our final award of the night is for our Contributor of the Year. This recognition is intended to highlight the service of any one person or group for their dedication and contributions to Raiders athletics. At this time, it's my pleasure to invite Jim Happy to the stage, who will be presented by Jordy Vogelgazang and Jim Joseph. Take it away.
Good evening. When I was hired here last summer to be the girls' hockey coach, I can't tell you how many people told me you're going to love Happy. Wait till you meet Happy. And I would ask often, who's Happy? Who's this happy person? And I quickly learned he's been the bus driver for the girls' hockey team and softball team for 27 years. He's retiring this year. Always finding the best route to drop us off close to the front door and give us a fist bump on the way off the bus, telling us to go get him. Then he'd park the bus, hustle in, watch both the varsity and JV games. And whether I wanted it or not on the bus ride home, he'd give me his 2 cents on the results. We'd see him at our home games sitting right behind the bench, cheering us on. It didn't take me long to realize not only is he our bus driver, but he was our #1 fan. One of our last trips, I stayed on the bus and chatted with him for a few minutes and heard a few stories, memorable moments, some favorite players and so on. It was a very nice moment for me to get to know him this first year here. And one of the last things that he told me is that I can't believe I got paid to do this. Thank you, Mr. Happy.
Couldn't see the camera with all those people standing for you, Happy, so now you got to find it right in the middle. All right, one more big round of applause for Happy, please. Okay, we have officially reached the conclusion of the event. I do have a few final comments to close. First, we have multiple media that are here capturing the event. Dennis Beck Photography, HCTV 14, as well as the Hastings Journal, Rivertown News, and KDWA. We'll post an archived link to the live stream on our athletics website tomorrow, and we'll send out a direct link for photos from Denny's website later in the week when they're all done. I'd like to recognize all these organizations and people for their efforts in shining a spotlight on our kids, so please join me in a round of applause for those folks. Next is to extend my sincere gratitude to those who shared in the development and the execution of this event. Our head coaches gave great feedback in the idea stage and really held firm with the vision. We had over a dozen presenters who stepped up and stepped forward at the mic this evening, and we enjoyed a great guest message from a distinguished alumni. There's also a small group of volunteers that did plenty of heavy lifting in preparation or at the event tonight with the program, the slide decks, the photos, and more. And that group is Katie McAlpin, Jeannie Castle, Paul Olson, Adam Welch, and Jackie Kranz. And finally, Kara Anderson in the booth allowed us the use of this phenomenal space, and I'd like to thank and recognize all these people. Please join me in a round of applause for them at this time. And on behalf of our athletes, our coaches, and our programs, it's a huge thank you to the parents, the families, and the broader community of Hastings, those that are here and those that couldn't be with us tonight. Your pride and passion for Hastings High School athletics continues to fuel strong, successful, holistic, respected programs. We're grateful for your support. We share the journey and successes with you. We are proud of our athletic tradition, and we're excited as we look ahead to the future. So finally, to the athletes and the teams that were recognized tonight, well done. We love to watch you play. We love to watch you compete. We love to watch you grow in the blue and gold. Congratulations again, not only for what you have accomplished, but for how you do it with integrity, grit, and class. This concludes our event. Have an awesome night. Go Raiders.